young Americans will eventually pay for the decisions made by today's leaders. That reality is serving as a wake-up call for this voting bloc to change course and get involved in the political process.
We have something very, very powerful. We have the largest generation on this planet. 80 million right here in America, a billion on the planet. And we are one of the most untapped sleeping giants.
Action for America, a political advocacy group, wants to reinvigorate government by identifying young leaders.
What if we could turn this broken system, if we can change the players, change the leaders, and change the people that support them? That is a solution to politics. That's how we fix it. And this generation is just uniquely positioned to actually do that.
To encourage them to make that leap and run for office, Action for America has launched Awaken 100.
It's time that we say, you know what, maybe we represent ourselves. What if we found someone that really inspired us, that looked like us, that sounded like us, that thought like us, and we actually supported that person? That's representation at its finest. That's what our democracy is designed to do.
The concept of millennials getting involved in politics is one that's spreading quickly across the country. Here in Anchorage, Alaska, an economic crisis has caused the upcoming generation to get involved and help reshape the state's future.
We had sort of an interesting situation where the people making a lot of the decisions, or that should be making those decisions, aren't going to be the ones most impacted by them. And this is something that really is going to affect people most of our generation.
Meet Drew, Ian, and Penny, members of a new volunteer group called Our Alaska. They use social media and other digital tools to teach their generation about balancing the state's budget, creating jobs, and working towards a better financial future.
It is the last thing that anybody wants to talk about. That's the key challenge that everybody's had, and it's what really informed our approach to try and do something that was funny and edgy and a little more attention-grabbing than your conventional campaign.
Oh my! Oh, everything is not glorious. Oh, this economy is terrible. Oh no! Recession!
One benefit of running social media campaigns on platforms like Facebook and Twitter is that you can see in real time how your campaign is doing compared to others.
We watched how our campaign would progress against several other campaigns that were being led by nonprofits, business organizations, which had literally hundreds of times the amount of money we had. And in the social media realm, in terms of engagement, we crushed them all.
We've seen a really positive response from elected officials as well. The governor has met with our group several times. Folks in his administration, representatives and senators are interested in being involved and hearing what we have to say. Maybe they're intimidated. Maybe they think they should talk to us because otherwise we're going to run for their seats.
Jason Gren, an Our Alaska member, is doing just that. At 35 years old, he's running for state house against a much older incumbent.
I think young people right now, we have some experience, we have a different background or mindset, and we have a different vision for the future than maybe someone who is in the retirement age, or maybe might move out of Alaska because it's not as an ideal place anymore for them and their lifestyle. But for me, it's I have a family, I have kids. I speak for that voice. I speak for the next 2 years, 5 years, 10 years.
We spent a few hours with Gren, who's combining traditional boots-on-the-ground campaigning with a targeted social media strategy. For example, more than 8,000 people viewed a quick Facebook Live video we did with Gren before he started knocking on doors.
And this is definitely the not-so-glamorous side of campaigning, right?
This is the hard work. This is the time of day. You're done with work, you're hungry, you're tired, you want to be home with your kids, you're resting, doing something, and you have to go walk for 2 hours and talk to people at their house, and hopefully they're nice, and hopefully they open the door and want to have a good conversation with you.
Knocking on doors helps Gren meet constituents, while social media allows them to follow along with his campaign.
You can kind of, update what you're doing, on a day-to-day basis. You kind of give people that personal insight to what you're doing, but also your views on certain topics. So I can talk to, moms I meet and dads I meet and neighbors, anyone on the street. I can tell them, to, go to my Facebook page and you can see what I did yesterday and today.
There are plenty of excuses not to get involved with the political process. Busy lives, budding careers, and balancing work with family. Still, Gren and those involved with Our Alaska say they refuse to continue to go unrepresented and unheard. It's that spirit that Action for America hopes to capture and spread in order to change the future.
Sometimes we say we need to wait our turn in line. And I think the time for waiting is actually over. It's going to take, again, some real courage and some real bold folks to be the first ones on that line. And of course, you may lose, you may go through the ring of fire, you may get beat up a little bit, but that's what this revolution is going to take. And I think to have the support of millions of people behind you is going to take bold leaders to begin with. And that's what we're looking for.
Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Anchorage, Alaska.